Good evening to all. Let me start by thanking Webhub for giving me this task in which I get to interact with you all, the students and the future of our country. You all are the future employers, employees, leaders, and most importantly, citizens of this interconnected world. We all are global citizens of this one and only beautiful planet, Earth. Today, I'll be talking about how the schools in particular help in bridging the gap between students today and the industries of tomorrow. The world around us is ever changing, and that too really fast due to the fast evolving technologies around us. The technology now becomes obsolete much faster what it did 5 years back. Now, as schools, what we must do to make sure that our students are up to date with these technologies and that they are able to grow into the citizens of tomorrow. When they go into the industry, they should not feel that they are not equipped to handle those technologies for their tasks or job given to them. The revolution that we are in today is the digital revolution. And we need to prepare our children to engage in a world alongside smart machines. They will need to be educated differently than how we did in the past. So, in order to do so, that I came and I come to my first point, that is to extend the scope of education in our school system. Throughout history, we have had to extend the scope of education as per the needs of the society. And it's no different this time in this revolution, in this transition. Today, we are preparing our students to do a particular job or a task in one discipline. Now, what we need to do is to prepare their mindset and their skill set to do anything in their future which the industry demands. We need students who are masters of all and not master of one. The industries have already started hiring or looking for people who can take up 2 or more jobs or tasks in their organizations. And hence, the extension of the scope of education needs to happen. And moving on to the next point, the extension of the scope of education, it leads to my second point or to my next point, and that is to improve the STEM education. Now, what you all must be thinking as to what is this STEM? We all know what STEM is. The STEM education needs to be improved across various stratas of society, regardless of income, age, or gender. We need our future generation to have a scientific mindset and apply it in all parts of life. Having said that, I want to emphasize on the H part. We still need to develop our students values that will help them use this new technology, use all the technology which is coming their way in the right manner, and to use them ethically and morally. So, the importance of humanities is ever increasing in the future world. Let's not get confused by the fact that just because it is STEM, that we lose the part of humanities. We need to stick to that part of humanities. We need employees with critical thinking and collaborative skills, even more than with the technical skills. Hence, according to me, STEM cannot fulfill the purpose unless it is integrated with humanities. In present times, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics are completely focused to develop the scientific mindset of students. In order to make them competent to adapt the various needs of the future and in various fields. But somehow we have compromised on the humanities part in the present education system, which is what is resulting in humans who are forgetting art of real and meaningful communication, art of articulation, and are disconnected with the culture and the roots of the society. They are becoming global citizens, but without the identity and purpose. So, with this, at STEM, I come to my next point, that is to develop the students. As you all know, that even today, many tasks which humans did is replaced by machines. We humans are the most adaptive animals on this planet. And so we adapt to any change much faster than any other animal on this planet. So we are much more adept at imagination, imaginative thinking, critical thinking, social interactions, creativity, and dexterity in our skills. So we need to develop all these qualities in our students in order to make them grow their potential. We have to make sure as schools, as schools which are giving the future of the country to the world and giving them new global citizens, we have to make sure that they grow in their potential and that they do their best in their potential, that they develop their potential to the fullest possible. And which actually gets me to my next point. And my next point is that we need to adapt to the lifelong learning models in our lives. And that can happen when the schools change that and they start training the students accordingly. An author once wrote that the illiterate of the 21st century will not be those who cannot read or write, but those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. What a beautiful saying, because if you think about it, this is true more so because of how fast the technologies around us are changing. And now, if we don't adapt to this lifelong learning model, we will be left behind. So, let's talk about our country. In our country, we need to adapt to these models. The schools need to focus more on this model of learning. They need to understand that the learning happens even after school and college, even after they have finished with their structured education. So it's important to understand for a parent and even for a student that the learning does not stop when you're finished with your school or college. We need uh, to go beyond that. The structured education cannot stop once the college or school is over. And we need to change accordingly as the industry is going. Wherever the industry, whichever path the industries are taking, we need to change accordingly. How we can create that mindset of lifelong learning is by changing the way and what we teach to our children. This leads me to my next point. That is, we need to change the teacher's training, which is to alter the educator training. The teachers are going through a huge shift and the transition since last 2 years. Previously, teachers used to get through time to adapt. They used to actually get a lot of time to adapt to new technologies, uh, let's say before this pandemic happened. But now, with the pandemic, the teachers have got very less time, or basically no time to shift to the online teaching. They've had to, they've actually had no formal training before that or experience of this mode that they had to adapt to. This shows that the teachers and the trainees are very, very adaptive to change and break this myth that it's difficult to change a teacher. It is evident that similar challenges as of the pandemic may also occur in future. Hence, we have to make our teachers better trained and equipped to adopt to the changing needs of not only the industry, but also the society and of the world. The biggest challenge, which according to me will be faced by teachers in future, is to come out of compartmentalized mindset and to shift or adopt the multidisciplinary mindset. As I have indicated in previous points, that we need a master of all. When I was talking about in reference of the students. Similarly, if we need to create masters of many fields, then we need trainees who have that multidisciplinary approach towards the entire system of education and are exposed to these systems. We need to create teachers who are oriented towards such approach. The world has become a connected global village, and hence the teachers are required to have exposure of happenings in different fields all across the world. I personally feel that we have to rethink school infrastructure. It's mostly built to facilitate uh, dissemination of established concepts and knowledge and demonstrating the proved experiments, inventions, and discoveries. But with changing context, we need to create spaces which can facilitate inquiry, creation of new knowledge, innovation, and entrepreneur mindset. We need to create an ecosystem which can provide spaces in all sense so that all kinds of crazy thoughts can flow freely to facilitate the new knowledge, discoveries, innovations, and inventions for making the Mother Earth a better place for all of us and all the species. With my limited experience and understanding in the field, I would like to end my talk with this last point, which uh, which I'm emphasizing. I know that most of schools, universities, and even students and parents expect and accept that the outcome of education is either getting a job or creating a job. And entire focus has shifted towards fulfilling the need of the industry. But we must remember that the students in schools and universities are humans and not machines. Hence, we must keep the foundation of education intact and focused on creating good humans for future societies rather than good machines or robots for future industries. I wish all of you the best of luck for your future endeavors and hope that you all will become good professionals and global citizens of this beautiful planet called Earth. Thank you.
Innovation pays off.